Hello, hello. Welcome to our daily unity practice. Just made sure that there are no, there is no chat, so all participants, all of you can fully participate in the unity practice itself rather than having a chat meanwhile, because that's what we had happening in the beginning. We had loads of people chatting. So let's begin. I would like you to sit in the most comfortable position. You can also do something. You don't have to be seated, and there is no need to necessarily close your eyes. You can carry on your work, wherever it is, and do this practice as well with us. And if you can close the eyes, if you can sit or lie down in a comfortable position, then go for it, please. And close your eyes if you can. Take a deep breath through the nose and a big, long exhale through the mouth. And again, inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Take a few more breaths in through the nose, sighs out through the mouth, and you can make the sound as you exhale, so it's signaling to your body that it's the perfect time for you to unwind and you are safe. Now, when you're ready, slowly begin witnessing your breath. How is it today? What parts of your body are moving with the breath? Is it chest, belly, shoulders perhaps even? Just be aware of that. And when you're ready, stop controlling your breath and begin more witnessing it. And notice the gaps in between each inhale and each exhale. And really pay your attention to the gap. So inhale is happening, then there is a pause, which is the gap in between, and then exhale takes a place. Another gap or another pause. Again, inhale, and there is a pause, and you're really witnessing that pause. Exhale, another pause. Again, there is no force to your breath, there is no control of it. It's almost like you are studying it carefully. Couple of more breaths, giving a very, very specific attention to the gap in between. You can hold that pause that is happening a little bit longer. Inhale, pause, notice what's there. Exhale, pause, again, pay attention to that pause. Inhale, pause comes, perhaps you extend it a little bit longer, and then exhale happens. Another pause, and you might extend the pause. And as you are paying attention to the pause, you might also notice that there is an interesting state of mind happens in each pause. No need to stress about it. Relax your face, relax the middle of your forehead and the center of your head. And then the rest of your body. Your face, your chest, your arms, your torso. Breath is just happening. You're simply witnessing it. You might notice that you're enjoying the gaps. You may notice that there is no thoughts in the gaps between each breath. You might hear the silence there. And as you continue witnessing the breath, you understand that it's definitely not your breath. And you also know the sound of your breath. You're not any sensations in your body or mind body, one thing, one computer, one technology. And you understand that you're not your mind because you're not your thoughts. You can witness them also popping in and out. And as you witness them, you see them, but you do not interact with any. The breath is there, it's happening, you're aware of it, you're aware of the sounds in you, through you, around you, the sound of my voice, any noises if there are any. And you also understand that you're not your memories, you're not your past, you're not your future, you're not your imagination that usually creates the future. You're not your feelings or emotions. You can see them arising, but none of them is you. You're not your beliefs about yourself. Everything that is witnessed right now, it's not you. So you can't be your body because you're witnessing it right now. You cannot be your name. You're not your surname. You're not your weight, your size, your shape. You're not anything you've ever studied, read, heard of, seen. None of the information you came across to is you. Notice that the body is breathing in and out, and you are anchored in this very moment. And as they say, you can't really measure the moment, it's timeless. And one moment can be also eternal. So the breath is there, and you carry on studying what you are not, peeling off the layers of the childhood, understanding you can see it only in the present moment. And you cannot go into the past. You cannot revisit the past. You cannot go right now. Only in hypnosis, of course, we do that. But we're going in reality into the memories stored in the mind, in the present moment. But thinking of daily reality, when you participate in a daily life, you cannot go back to the past, right? Unless there is some machine invented, but nobody ever heard of, or nobody ever came out to the world and announced that I've been to the past and I've seen it and I experienced it. No. The past is always happening in the now. The imagination is stored in now. So how can we prove that the past exists rather than on some kind of memory chip? If we compared our mind to a computer, it would have been some chip that stores, or disk that stores all the memory from the past, right? But it would have been stored in now. So where does the past exist if it's stored in now? Breathing in and out. Just let's check about the future. The future is only in imagination. Tomorrow you will wake up and it's going to be today. So nobody ever visited the future other than planned it and lived it in imagination. So when you look at how interesting we have been programmed, as we're moving from now to now, we have created time frame for the game to exist. And when you come out of that time loop, you're completely free as the being that you are. And you understand, okay, I'm not my body, I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my past, I'm not my future. The past does not exist rather than in now. It's stored somewhere for me if I want to look at it. And the future is just whatever I'll imagine. It doesn't even exist rather than in the imagination that is in now. So it's an interesting phenomena. The time, it's something that was invented psychologically for us, and timeline as well, right? So when you come out of that belief, you're more in line with, now I wouldn't say in line, aligned. You're aligned with what you really are. A timeless, spaceless, limitless being that is always present. It's always in that moment of now. And that gives you an opportunity to be free. It gives you peace of mind because there is no need to worry about anything. Why would you worry about the past? If it's something that you cannot revisit, if it's something you cannot change, you can just change the approach to it. Why would you worry about the future if it doesn't exist? And why would you worry about anything if you are just that being, the highest self, the infinite self, the consciousness, the awareness? There's so many names for it. Absolute, Brahman, para-Brahman. It's like you can just entangle in more and more like really like philosophies and religious, and that makes it so complicated. Consciousness or awareness or this or that or supreme consciousness or super high consciousness, it doesn't matter as long as you now feel what you are. It's like you're in that state which is out of any states in a way. But as long as you enjoy what you really are and being, just simply being, and I'm not saying being that character, your name and the persona that you act on every day, but just simply existing as that being, right? In the moment. And just witnessing that the body breathes, because still the body is needed to play the game. And understanding that you are the highest self, that's something that is indescribable. They try to find the words for it, but many philosophies says that it's so beautiful, it's so light, it's so godlike that you cannot describe what you are rather than saying what you only are not. You can only describe it by saying what you are not. And that's the practice that we're doing right now. So to get you that sense, that inner sense kind of what it is, that feeling, that state beyond all the states, that joy and peace and equanimity and certain state of love, light. There's so many things in one just being that you are. And that's absolutely fantastic. It's really delicious. And it takes your mind away from daily worries, because we keep over worrying. They sold us happiness as the main thing on the market, which makes you run around and fulfill your dreams. And everybody's dream in reality, and everybody's highest desire is to understand who they are, but not intellectually, but learn the ability to feel it, okay? So by feeling it, you know it. By knowing it, you feel it. By being it, you are that. And that's amazing, because the moment you've got the feeling of that bliss, of that ecstasy of being, of that nirvanic state, your whole rat race ends right here, because you look inward. You peel off the layers of everything that the Mahamaya, that ground illusion, that game of life had forced you to believe into. You've been hypnotized to be able to play the game as the body. And as soon as you get into what you are, guess what? You don't need another Dior bag. You don't need another villa. You don't need another car. You don't need anything, because you are content and absolutely satisfied in that what you are, in that light, in that love, in that higher state of what you are. That's why highest masters They are so much, they are so, yeah, when you look at the state that they are, they're so high that it's uneasy in the beginning to function in. When you, if you ever read the Yogananda, the biography of Yogi, it was said there when the students were practicing Kriya Yoga with their master, and he was giving them different levels of practices depending on the level of the consciousness. They would be given different practices, right? So there's this a specific moment where one of the students is about to get some other practices, so he would have gotten him way higher than he was. And he says something like, "But master, I am just a simple postman, and the state I am right now, it's uneasy for me to carry on my work." So imagine how high he must have already been, and I think he was just at the level 2 and he was about to get to the level 3 or something like that, right? And there might be at least 5 levels, and apparently there is no limits to the levels, but I don't know 100% about Kriya Yoga, but I know in other yoga, like Advaita Vedanta, they say you can be a massive piece of consciousness because there is no measure to it, I think. They cannot measure who is where. And when we are doing this practice, very often you get high, right? So imagine if you were going higher and higher and higher and increase that state. Some of you wouldn't be able to work. And that's why they also said somewhere in some books about Krishna that he was so joyful of life that he couldn't walk sometimes. So imagine, I don't know, guys, if you ever tried drugs. I guess most people did in their lives. But even if you haven't tried the drugs, by just being here and practicing with me, you must have gotten to that higher state. So what I'm saying, when you in that higher state, whether you're on drugs or not, or you just meditated and you got to that state, would you ever need anything else? Literally, you don't need anything. You wouldn't go and go, you wouldn't be fantasizing about anything. You wouldn't be desiring anything because you're so high, you're way beyond the mind and body. When you get that high, the body and mind does not exist for you anymore. So all the needs, all the desires that we have got are connected to mind and body. And when you self-realize yourself, you understand you're not mind and body, and you don't need to run after anything. And funny enough, most of anything you think of comes into this reality. So it's just a little bit off today of where we were going, of the direction where we were going, but I really wanted to share that with you. Getting to the higher state in the meditation, it frees you from all desires, all wishes of the mind and the body, gets you to the high level of consciousness and frees you. When you're completely free, so in India, among those gurus, they don't say how high you are on the level of the conscious. They say, how free are you? And how free, it always comes to how detached did you become from everything? Is anything you're still attached to? Like in your mind, even if there is a single desire, you're not free. You're still enslaved to that desire. So it's the highest teaching of yoga, and I'm not saying that you need to follow that. It's just a fact. So let's go back to the breathing. Notice that the breath is there. Notice that you're free because your mind doesn't tell you anything that it needs in that particular moment. And you're feeling light, you're feeling amazing. You're anchored in the present moment. And here, everything is perfectly well as it is. And during the day, whenever your mind runs, whatever your mind tells you, you begin so well, you begin a master of your mind. You just do everything to master it and come back to your breath. So being what you really are, we're going to call it one unified consciousness for the sake of the practice. In here and in now, absolutely free and ready to play the game. And we're going to amplify, as always, the vibration of love and kindness within that being, that what you are. And we call that one unified consciousness. And you are something incredibly powerful. You're divine, you're magnificent. So it's super easy for you to just set an intention. I'm doing that, and it's happening. Noticing the breath, just continue amplifying the vibration of love and kindness many, many times over. Breathing in and out through the nose. Continue amplifying the vibration of love and kindness 1,000,000 times. And now 10 million times, and feel how the energy in the body and mind is changing in every chakra, in the energy field around it. While you're just breathing in and out through the nose, there is no force to the breath. You carry on amplifying the vibration of love and kindness 100 million times over. Notice how it is increasing all by itself. You set the intention, and your word is a command to this reality, to the reality that surrounds you, that dimension where the body and mind is, and the dimension where you as that being is. And you continue amplifying the vibration of love and kindness even more, just for one moment, feeling it's happening. Breathing in and out, in and out. Notice that your body is vibrating with the light, with the love, kindness. Everything around you, in fact, is vibrating of the highest frequency of love and kindness in the space where you are right now, whether it's a room, it's a house, villa. If you are outdoors, you are vibrating as well. So everybody can feel it in your neighborhood. And now you also realize that there are many people on this planet who are doing this practice of unity, and they also realize themselves being one unified consciousness and amplify the vibration of love and kindness many, many times over. And you, as one unified consciousness, are also continue amplifying the vibration of love and kindness, and it's just shifting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And as a result, your heart is vibrating the highest possibly frequency of love and kindness, as well as every organ of your body, every cell, every limb, your skin, even every hair on your head, as the body breathes in and out, in and out, you're really feeling elated. And now is the time to invite all the people that you love, your family members, your friends, friends of the friends. Keep inviting more people. Just think, who else? Maybe neighbors or people you work with, people you have met today in a supermarket, on the road to work or from work, or anywhere else. And let them be with us in that field, which is very, very high in a beautiful frequency. And now let's invite all the people we did have any conflict or misunderstanding in the past. Invite those people who you might envy, or people that you had expectations towards. Think of people that might have hurt you in the past, diminished you somehow, criticized you, laughed at you, and let them be in that space, because you are just so above the body and mind, so like beyond that you cannot be moved by anything that happened in the past between you and these people, especially now that you got that knowing that you're not the mind, you're not the body, and you're not the story. It's not even my story, so it's not your story anymore. It's just a story believed into life's personality that you act daily. But there is no need to be that personality. Be what you are in reality. Stick to that, what you are. Everything is witnessed from that space, and here is the really, really beautiful energy that wipes everything, cleanses anything that does not serve you to carry on to play the game of life. And you're letting go and letting God, that energy field that is around you. People call it God, people call it field, people call it so many names. It doesn't matter. If you are very religious and you want to invite Christ to be here, Christ consciousness, you can do that. If you believe in Allah, call Allah to support you, to cleanse the energy. And also I want you to understand that your being that you are is already magnificent, it's already divine, and it's also just able to remove anything, because you are that magnificence itself. So as the identity, as the ego mind identity, three words for the same thing. Mind, ego, identity steps back, everything is cleansed, everything is vanished, everything disappears. And we're sending it to the universal consciousness, so it's transformed there into more love, into more kindness, into harmony, into peace. And it goes back and downloads into your psyche, into your subconscious mind, into every cell of your physical body, into your mind, and it remains there. So any negative energy, anything that vibrates lower than love, harmony, balance, peace, is just wiped out. It has got no space to be here. You're incredibly powerful. This is your will, and your will is a command to this world. Breathing in and out through the body, let it just anchor that energy in your body, in your mind, feel it, breathe it, and let's invite all the animals, all the nature, birds, insects, all the living being, and so they can be with us in this absolutely powerful field that we have created as a community. Breathing in and out through the nose. Notice what had shifted now, comparing to when you entered this practice today. And know that you're a free being. Your all desires, everything you ever thought of and you wanted, can be easily materialized, but you don't need to strive for it. If there's still desires, don't worry about it. You don't have to let them go or just abandon your desires. It's okay to have them, but I just want you to understand that it's super easy to make them happen into your daily life reality if you do not battle and strive. You'll be taking steps forward, breathing and moving from now to now without over worrying, without feeling anxious about the future, without worrying about the money. That's why when you look at the what is called in English, I think it's called Father in Heaven, a prayer. It says, give us our bread today, right? Give our bread to us. I need to find this prayer because I never prayed in English. I always prayed either in Polish or in Russian. So when you look at it, it says about today. And what does it mean is knowing that today you've got the roof over your head, knowing that today you've got food, your daily bread, you've got no space to worry, right? There is more trust built by just looking what you have today and being grateful for it. You move to the future, which is again today, as we have spoken, as I have a little bit digged into it in the beginning. Every day is today. So we're worrying about the future, about what is going to be in the 1 year, what is going to be in 1 month. But if you breathe, remain present, have a knowing and sensation of what you are, so instantly you become a joyful being, you're a high being, you get high on yourself, basically on being what you are. You're always looked after. You will always have a bread. It's just how we were structured by society, whoever invented us to over worry. They just entangled us and they hypnotized us to begin worrying about tomorrow. because the whole way of how we are functioning now had changed. We were deprived of our autonomy. We also, certain codes, certain programs were encoded into us, into our subconscious, so we still follow them. But whenever you try to decide, or not try, whenever you will make a decision, so let's say if you make decision today to remain present with your breath, to remain present with what you are, forgetting, like doing this 5 minutes practice daily. I'm not my body, I'm not my mind, I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my worries, I'm not the anxiety, I'm not what my emotions telling me. Peeling off all the layers, you'll get to the essence of what you are, and you'll always be fine, trust me, as what you are. And knowing that you are that awareness, consciousness, people call it so many times, let's say consciousness that is conscious of everything and itself, then you're blessed already. All desires, everything you just think of, it comes into reality by like default. It's like it's already given to you. It becomes incredibly easy. And I would like you to practice that, because I'm not now talking from the books or anything I read. I am talking from my life experience. And it did happen to me that things were coming into my life by me just thinking how nice would that have been, and then it would have come because I was practicing being that consciousness, watching the breath, like on a daily life basis. Like I would work, I would walk, I would talk to someone. I would always pay attention to my breath, and I would always remain here and now. And that changed many, many things in my life and got me onto another level of being. But in reality, when you say me, there is not even me. There is just the divine being in you. But for the sake to play the game of life as body, of course, you call it me, you call it I am. So please just begin practicing it during the day as well and function. It's easy. After some time, you'll get used to it. And you'll get self-realized way faster than you can imagine. Or keep coming back here. And of course, I would love you to be here with me daily so we can dig a little bit more into philosophy. We can feel what we are, be what we are, enjoy what we are, get an ecstasy, get high on what we are. And we are blessed because by just doing the practice of unity, whatever you do for humanity, you do it also for the self, because you are a part of the humanity. And of course, you will be blessed, and you are blessed. And of course, life gets easier for you. So thank you so much for your patience and remaining with me till the end. Go and shine your light bright. You are a beautiful being. You don't need anything but just the connection to the essence of what you are on every moment of your life. And that's it. And you're happy, you're blessed, you're joyful, you are loved, you're loved, you're loving. Thank you. I love you, and I appreciate you being here with me. I'll see you here tomorrow. Much, much love, and